No return, no regrets.
I thought you were talking like in a kind of receipt sort of way. Like, no return. You've clicked this video.
It's over 28 days.
Yeah,
you don't have your receipt. Sorry.
Best we can offer you is like store credit where you can watch a different Outside Extra video instead. But this one, unfortunately, is shop soiled. It's been damaged this has been damaged in transit. This won't resell, will it, Ellen? No, not resaleable. No. You haven't brought us back in saleable condition.
You took the tags off, so we can't.
Yeah, and then some.
Yeah. Anyway,
no return
mode in The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered.
Wow. Cool idea. We should do a live stream of it. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
It's a good idea I've had. Let's live stream that.
Well, we did, and then my internet
was
an arse.
Hey! Love to see it.
So
it's not your fault.
Yeah. So sorry, folks. But London be like that sometimes. It's a good. I had a lot of fun playing it, and I think it was an extremely good move by Naughty Dog and PlayStation to include this in a remaster.
Fun as hell.
Because when they were like, "Oh, we're doing a remaster," when I first saw the opening of that trailer, I was like, "Really?"
It just came out.
Like, the PlayStation 4 version looks fine, and it is playable on PS5. Do we really need to see however many extra open pores and things like that on their faces, etc.? But I feel that by adding on this mode, they really gave the remaster a reason to exist.
Which, if you didn't see our live stream, which you can't anymore because we had to delete it because the quality was so poor, it's a roguelike survival mode where you have to survive different standalone missions, and you can take whatever you gather like with you into the next one, like upgrades, perks and stuff. And if you die, you have to start right back at the beginning.
The runs that you do, there's branching paths. You can sort of see some of the things that are ahead of you, and some things are like mysteries or whatever. But there's a bunch of different kind of like game modes within those. So like there's some where you just have to go and hunt things down. There's some things where you're being hunted. You choose the path based on what you feel that you're most confident at, or when you're first starting out, like just learning it and being like, am I good at this? Oh no. Am I good at this? Oh yes. There's a whole bunch of characters that are unlockable in the game, and when I saw like to unlock some of the characters right at the end, I was like, oh gosh, how long is this going to take? There's two lines. There's the Ellie one and the Abby one. To unlock like each person next, you have to survive a couple of encounters as the character before it in that chain, and then you unlock them. At first I was like, oh cool, like, so it's just like you get to play as who you want eventually. But as well, each of the characters have their own approach and their own strength. So like Ellie comes in with just a gun and the ability to heal herself very quickly, whereas Abby is way more built for close encounters because she hench.
Yeah.
She hench girl.
Yeah.
But to get to someone like Lev, who plays stealthily with a bow and arrow, which is basically how I played the entirety of The Last of Us Part 2. You have to unlock them through Abby before you can pick up Lev and his cool bow and arrow.
But you're saying none of it's too tedious?
But none of it is too tedious. So when I saw that at first, I was like, oh no. But then what it does is it forces you to play in ways that you're not always comfortable with. You know, I felt that the main game did that very well anyway, when you had the Abby sections, when you weren't playing as Ellie. I found that I played the game fairly differently. But like for me, like it's been a learning experience playing the no return mode as someone who is like, I'm going to sneak over here and be like, you know, and then I'm going to make a bunch of arrows.
Yeah.
That's how I play this game for the whole thing as long as I can. People who watch the stream will have saw me playing as Lev, getting 2 S ranks, because I'm like, yeah, this is what I'm good at. And then I'm like, oh no, I have to go in with a gun? Oh.
Yeah. I've been seen, I've died.
Immediately, oh no.
I think, I've had a lot of fun with the mode as well and really enjoyed my time with it. I think Last of Us Part 2 isn't famous for its combat, but the combat is really good.
Yeah.
And like it feels great, it's super satisfying, and I really enjoyed it. You can definitely tell that the combat mechanics were built for a sort of like, have a go at this area. Ah, you've died. Don't worry, we'll quickly checkpoint back to to where you just were, like try again or something. I think what I'm saying is I feel like things can turn sour and you die a bit too quickly. Like if things go wrong and you start to like get shot and take hits, there aren't many second chances.
I found like in The Last of Us Part 2, the storyline game, I thought it was very much forgiving of if you got spotted. There were way more opportunities to kind of like run around the corner and hide and remain hidden and not be immediately found again.
Well, I would just die because it's faster.
Yeah.
Like just die, get checkpointed back, and like, all right, this time I'll try again.
But like as someone like me as someone who's like, if I can do it full stealth, I will do it full stealth.
Yeah.
But when I played
regardless
The Last
of how long that
Part
takes
2,
and how long.
Yeah.
We are looking at a barely visible character hiding in the grass, while on the other side
I'm having the best time.
Yeah, on the other side of the map, some enemies are moving around.
But in the story, I was encouraged more to like kind of go for it, and then if I effed up, running and just hiding in some grass, and they're like, oh, she's gone. Unless there was a dog, in which case I would be like, I'm sorry. Panic and run and then die.
Sorry, dog, but I'm panicking. Dog doesn't understand.
No, the dog doesn't get it.
From the dog's point of view, it's just a person looking at it going like, You're like, oh, that's made me sad. Something more light-hearted. You're still thinking about what I said, aren't you?
Yeah. But yeah, no, it's it encourages a different approach to the game to someone who has played through it. And it just made me realise like how rusty I was. I haven't played The Last of Us Part 2 since it first came out. Instead, I loaded my save and then it was like, rewards! And I was like, yay! I got so many free trophies, it was great.
Yeah.
I'm glad that I have it, like the shiny new version, for if I want to go back and like replay a level or whatever, or go back to one of my old saves and have a go and see what it looks like. But I really feel like this should be a real marker for remasters going forward.
Oh, like standard for remasters. You can do a remaster. You can sell me a full price remaster, but you gotta do another mode. I know you don't have to pay full price to it. Yeah. If you've got Last of Us Part 2.
If you've got Last of Us Part 2, the original PS4 version, you only pay like $10 extra, whichever it is. For the actual mode, I think it's enough. I think it's worth a tenner.
How about this then? Do away with DLC. From now on, you can't sell DLC. You have to sell a full graphical remaster that has extra content, and the extra content is what DLC would have been.
Yeah.
Are we happy with that? Yeah. Games industry? They're shaking their heads violently.
Well, I think with they kind of do that anyway, in terms of with every DLC comes like an enormous patch to fix the rest of the game.
Yeah, good point.
So maybe stop doing that.
It's cool though. It was a nice little bonus. Good mode.
Enjoyed it.
Good fun.
Mm-hmm. But it made me think. What other games deserve a new mode attached to them that hasn't been done in that game already?
Do we each have an example here, or is it just
me? I think I may have asked us to each prep one example.
Okay, you do yours first because it will be better for viewer retention, because people will stop watching when I do mine.
Okay, well...
It's boring.
So...
You go first.
Anyone who's watched this channel before may be aware that I really love the Assassin's Creed multiplayer series.
Yes, you've spoken of it often.
You know, it was...
Seems great.
It came about in this era. There's a really good video on Outside Xbox, actually, that came out recently about like these random multiplayer things that were added to games years ago. Assassin's Creed multiplayer was one of those, and I've also made a video lamenting how they're kind of disappearing and they don't make them anymore. I would love for Ubisoft to wake the F up and put an Assassin's Creed multiplayer back in, rather than Skull and Bones, maybe. I'm worried about Skull and Bones.
With good reason.
But I don't know whether Ubisoft are going to do that. So instead, I'm going to turn over to IO Interactive and be like, Hitman assassination multiplayer?
Hitman. Oh, hello.
Yeah?
Hello.
So Hitman has done, in the new Assassination trilogy, in 2 they added like a multiplayer mode that Andy and Mike played to interesting outcomes.
Hey,
whoa!
I see.
There goes the axe ghost.
Wait, if you're running that way, presumably the target's not.
Stop
copying
me.
Get your own ideas.
Cheating.
But I would love a mode where like one of you is Agent 47 and
one of you is like a bodyguard or something.
One of you is like bodyguard, like just like a target, and you have to kind of like hunt them down. And or like you could have a mode where you're the one protecting the target, so it's like capture the flag.
Being the target would be funny.
It's a person being murdered.
Yeah.
And so
there are constantly things happening that like you're like, all right, I'll just stay with the
I'll
just stay with the senator or whatever, and then it's like, An alarm is ringing over by the wine press.
You need to get.
I have to go turn that off.
You have to go do that, otherwise this will happen.
But
you know,
sir, if I go
like
turn
that.
off the wine press, Hitman will put me in the wine press and press me.
Or,
and I'll
like,
die.
You'd have to think of an interesting way to kind of disguise, because Agent 47,
Yeah.
we always joke on these channels about how he's actually it's obvious who he is. Fans would know. So, players, it would be difficult. But, like...
But to be fair, in the real world, he doesn't really have fans.
No.
Oh my God!
In a multiplayer...
Who's here to kill? I hope it's me.
The point is, in a multiplayer game, everyone knows who he is. So, like, you'd have to come up with cool, fun disguises, etc. One other idea I had is, because the idea behind the Assassin's Creed multiplayer, the lore behind it, is that you're all Templars and you're training in the Animus.
Oh, right, you're running like
so
war
you're
games,
running around and
running simulations.
You're fighting other Templars to become the ultimate assassin-y Templar. Basically, you're a Desmond. You're like a Desmond in there.
Just another Desmond.
Just another Desmond.
Just another Desmond in the war.
Desmond.
You
so
absolute
maybe
Desmond.
in Hitman, you have a bunch of people who are all like competing to be the next Agent 47.
Yes,
and
that's good.
So like different character models, different things, and you're all in there, and you all have the tools of the trade, and you all have to try and kill each other off.
Fundamentally, what's really fun about the Assassin's Creed multiplayer, right, is that to win it, you have to pretend to be an NPC.
Yes.
And walk around like
an
NPC.
That's, if you had new characters, that would be great.
Yeah. Hitman makes way more sense for this mode. That would be so funny to play a game where you have to pretend to be... Like, imagine you're sort of moving around and all the NPCs just like... And then suddenly one of them just lunges at you.
That's why it's so good.
Yeah,
And
that would be good.
Come on. Ubisoft.
Yeah, that was great.
Good
suggestion.
I just want something like that. There are plenty of other games, I'm sure, but the thing is with Hitman, I think why it would be good is they already have the tools to like create huge crowds. Like the crowds in it are way busier and more crowded than the ones that were in the Assassin's Creed multiplayer even.
As the assassin, you should have like abilities that make genuine NPCs behave erratically. So like you should be able to sort of shoot them with like some kind of toxin dart or something that makes them lunge.
Well, there's
so that the target panics and kills them, and they can only kill 3 people before it's game over.
Well, in Assassin's Creed multiplayer, you did have like an ability where if there was another NPC that looked exactly like you could press a button and then they'd run off in like they're panicking.
Good, yeah. What I'm hearing is this has been made already, so just make it.
Copy their homework,
Copy their homework, just make it.
They're sitting there with it, doing nothing. So maybe just go up to them and be like, Ubisoft, can we just do this?
Don't ask their permission. Better to ask forgiveness than permission. Yeah. In all copyright matters.
Careful. H. Bomber Guy might make a video on you next.
Oh no. Is it my turn now?
Yes.
Okay. You can stop watching now. It's fine.
It's fine.
No, I get it.
I'm sure. Look, it's just how you sell it. Come on.
Okay. Put Pokemon Snap in Gran Turismo 7. Need I go on? So
you go on a drive and you take pictures of nice cars that you see.
Here's the thing. Gran Turismo 7 has a spectacular photo mode.
Yeah.
It's got a mode called Scapes where you can like just basically make photorealistic desktop wallpapers of your favourite cars, place them in all sorts of backgrounds, change the lighting and stuff, and you can make it really nice. You can pause a replay of a race and sort of choose from a number of different angles and stuff like that. It's not quite as flexible as I would want it to be. The reason I would want it to be good is because in the graphically less impressive driving game that I do play, iRacing, I've started doing this thing where I'm a real sicko. The races take about like 20 minutes. And then, if something cool happened in the race, I'll spend about 40 minutes finding the cool moment in the replay, unlocking the camera, moving the camera painstakingly, bit by bit, until it lines up and looks really like as cool as possible. You know, tinker with the aperture and the motion blur and stuff. And then what I'll do is I'll screenshot that, then I'll open Photoshop and I'll take things to the next level. I'll adjust brightness, I'll do adjustment layers, I'll tinker with the saturation. I like to do this thing where I put a noise gradient over the top with a blend mode. You're seeing some of the examples on screen now. Just know that each one represents 45 minutes of my time. Here's the problem.
Here's the problem.
Yeah, and I know what you're thinking, Luke. It sounds like your life is going great. But here's the thing.
You're not getting little points for it.
I'm not getting points, and I'm not getting
little,
scored.
yeah.
For the amount of time that I'm putting into photo moding cars, I should be getting points and trophies. Right. So, Gran Turismo 7 is the game to do this in because it's got like a big, good online ecosystem, and it's graphically, I reckon, the most beautiful, gorgeous driving game in existence. I'm constantly floored by how beautiful it is.
I don't even like car games. I'm like, that's a pretty game.
It's like, ooh. Like, so I've watched replays in GT7. I'm like, don't know if this is game. Very hard to tell. Just let me sort of take photos, unlock the camera so I can get like a really nice one, and then, and I don't know how this would work, but it's not my job to figure it out. I'm not the boffin. You are, Polyphony.
Yeah.
Then I take my photo, and then it is scored. Maybe it is scored by fellow enjoyers of this bonus mode.
Well, there have been ones where in Assassin's Creed Origins you could do a photo mode and then you could allow it to be seen on the map. Some things would appear on the map.
That's
of like,
a really fun
here's
idea.
A picture, and then you could like it, or whatever. I don't think you got any bonuses for it, but you got like
that would be good.
Social.
Imagine
points.
if you just like fired up Gran Turismo 7. Every time you fired it up, while you were waiting for it to load, it presented you with 2 photos
like,
from
which
2
one
different
do you
people.
like?
Yeah, and it's like pick one of these that you think is better.
Yeah.
And then like every week there would be a sort of like leaderboard reveal of like who took the nicest, funniest, most endearing sort of photo.
Yeah.
Photo modes in games have come so far.
Yeah.
But they don't score you, or they don't really reward the time investment. The reason it's like Pokemon Snap is I don't want the kind of like on rails like
because I was thinking, oh, you go in a car journey and you look out for cool cars, and then you're like, cool, there's a cool car, which is like basically like the car.
That's like a motorway journey.
Yeah, like where you're just like.
There's a good one.
Yeah. Did you ever do things with your siblings where you'd each pick a colour?
Yes.
This was bigger in the 90s, because nowadays every other car is white, grey or black. But in the 90s...
nowadays you can like have a tablet in the car and like,
yeah, it was fun in the 90s. But like you go on a long car journey... Like,
you know what toy I had in the back of the car? A pillow.
Yeah.
I was told go to sleep if you're bored.
Actually, that's what we did long drives up
fair?
to Scotland.
Is this justice?
And my dad would sleep the day before.
Yeah, okay.
And then we'd drive through the night so that me and my sister would just be unconscious.
Yeah.
And then
That sounds like the best way to do it.
And then I'd wake up and throw up right at the end.
Nice.
Because all the Scottish rates
Nice.
are like that.
Nice.
Like,
Still in the car, I hope.
yeah.
Good. Yeah. Nice.
Sorry, Dad.
Take me on holiday, will you, Father? How about this? Your car
Drive
needs to be...
through the night for me so I can go see my cousins.
Now your car needs to be professionally cleaned. Your move. Your move, Dad. I did have a Game Boy in the back of the car, to be fair, but like the batteries die in no time.
Four AA batteries, and it's like.
And if you are driving at night, you could like the screens didn't light up
you
or
have to
anything.
wait for all the lights.
Yeah.
Oh no!
Yeah, it'd be like, oh, a tunnel, good. In conclusion, I don't want that bit. I want the way. I like the way Pokemon Snap scores your photos. Afterwards, Professor Oak is like, oh, nice. There's 2 Pokemon in the picture, so you get like a score multiplier, and one of the Pokemon looks like it's dying. So times 3. That's great. Well done. So
good.
Good.
No, I think that's fun, but I think also you should go for broke and add in that mode of you're on rails and you have to take as many good photos as possible.
Yeah,
so
that's
you have
true,
the nice like one, but like if you have one where the hard mode where you're like. Because that's how it actually, actual photographers at actual races can't be like, pause the world.
Pause the world. I'll move things around.
I'm going to just stand in front of this car for a few seconds. Okay, unpause.
I've been watching an anime.
Oh, Luke, I told you not to do that.
I know. I swore never again. It's like the big sigh I did after I said I've been watching an anime. It's called Overtake. It's on Crunchyroll in the UK at least.
Ooh.
And it's about Formula 4. So it's nice, it's sweet vibes. But it's about a photographer who sort of makes friends with a little F4 team. And he starts taking, he's like taking pictures of the car. I'm like, oh, that's good. I'm like him. But mine are better. Because what I do is I take it into Photoshop and I take it to the next level. I like it when the car is slightly damaged. And so it's all like scuffed up. Taking some good pictures of scuffed up cars. Yeah. You're seeing them now.
Yeah.
That's right. What I showed you before wasn't the full catalogue.
Well,
I've held plenty back.
well, can you think of any fun modes that you would like to see added to existing games that don't have those modes already? Would you like to see Pokemon Snap in Gran Turismo? Would you like to see Assassin's Creed multiplayer in Hitman? Yeah.
No.
But at the end of the day, no return mode. Good. Well done, Naughty
Yeah,
Dog.
that's
We
what we're
like
trying
it.
to say is no return is good.
No return is good.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks. Bye.
That's me getting an overtake turn 1 Suzuka.
Oh, yeah.
Pretty good. That's not a watermark. I added the logo of the circuit
All
so
right.
that it looks like a postcard. You can, so that it looks like a souvenir postcard you can buy on the track to tell all your friends you were there when Luke did an overtake.
I'm glad we're friends.
I won this race. Look,
Yeah, good.
it's me. It's me winning. It's me winning a race. I'm doing it for real.